Hello, my name is Elise. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I've got a video about turning your stitch pieces into cards. I've recently come back from vacation where I had a lot of time to do some stitching, and I wanted to show you how I turn these stitch pieces into cards. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, keep watching. And these are the cards that I'm making today, and I'll show you how we make them in the video. So first off, I want to show you the pieces. I have cut all of these down either with a trimmer or with the Waffle Flower A2 rectangle dies. All of my supplies are linked down below. I wanted to show you the die sets that I created these all with. So all of these were either created with the Stamp Market Dotted Hello or Rainbow die set, or the new Concord 9th So Pretty stamp and die set. This is a really unique set that makes really interesting patterns that I've never seen before, so I was really excited when they came out with that. So here is a look at the card panels. So this first one was made with that flower die from So Pretty. That second one is also made from So Pretty. Here are two rainbow cards, just slightly different. I actually made three, but I'm only going to make two cards today. Some stitched hello. Again, I did three, but I'm only going to make two cards today. This repeating flower pattern from that Concord 9th. And then I've got a bonus card using a full stitch panel, and that die is from Paper Smooches. So let's get this cleaned up and get started working on our cards. The first card is going to be using that Concord 9th So Pretty. In a second, I will realize that I didn't turn on my studio light, so I apologize for the bad lighting. Using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink to stamp that little hello greeting. This stamp set from Concord 9th is so unique because you are using stitching and stamping together, and so that's what really inspired these. Gonna clean off that stamp with my Gina K Tidy Towel. That little container is by Make It by Marco. Her Etsy shop is linked down below. Going to adhere that panel to some Simon Says Stamp Fog cardstock that I've cut out with a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die. I pop up all of my stitching on with foam tape. Foam tape is really sticky and will keep everything together. I tie off or tape down all of my ends, so I'm not worried about the stitching coming up, but it just makes it so that it lays flat even. Using some Gina K Dot Runner adhesive to adhere that fog panel onto a card base, which is made from Nina 110-pound cardstock, and that is also, of course, linked down below. The second card I'm making is with the Stamp Market Dotted Rainbow. Here's where I remember to turn on my lights. I'm using a cute stamp set from the Stamp Market to get that little You Brighten My Days sentiment. I thought that worked really, really well with the rainbow. Adding on that foam tape, and I am leaving this one plain. So it's just going to be a simple white panel on a white card base. Card number 3 uses the Stamp Market Dotted Hello. I used a really unique ombre thread from DMC to make that hello. So I thought that was really, really fun. And then using that same stamp set from the Stamp Market, just a different sentiment that says, "You are proof there is good in this world." I think that'd be really nice to send to a friend just as a, hello, I miss you type of card. Putting on that foam tape again. And this time I'm going to adhere it to a watercolor panel that I watercolored using Distress inks, mini Distress ink cubes. And it just kind of, that watercolor picks up from the ombre of the thread that I used. And I think that one's really fun. So lining this up on the card base, and then that card is complete. If you want to see the way that I do my stitching, I'll link down to Jennifer McGuire down below. She has some blog posts about how to do your stitching. This fourth card uses more of those flowers from the Concord 9th So Pretty. I've cut out and pre-stacked this die cut sentiment, which is also from Concord 9th. I'm using Gina K Connect glue to add little glue dots to the back of that. and then I will stick it down on top of the stitching. Connect glue is really, really sticky, so it will stick to the thread. That just says sending happy thoughts. And I am going to adhere that onto that polka dot background paper, pattern paper. And that is from the stamp market, from a really neat set of pattern papers. And I used a couple in this set. So that's the back of that. Now I'm going to adhere that to a white card base. I think for all of these I did use a white card base. And I like the way that that little dotted paper just adds a little bit of interest, but it's still pretty clean and simple. So that's that card. The 5th card also uses the Concord 9th So Pretty. This one's my favorite card. I think it turned out really cute. So I've got that repeating kind of sunflower look. And I've got this hay die cut. The shadow layer is out of vellum, and the top green layer is out of some Lawn Fawn Spiffy Speckles cardstock, that green color. Just adding that right on the front, keeping it simple, no stamping on this one, just die cuts. Adding a lot of foam tape to the back of this, and then I'll put it on to that same piece of Lawn Fawn Spiffy Speckles that I've also die cut using the Lawn Fawn stitch rectangle. So I didn't want to use 2 pieces of paper, but I could just take out that hay from the middle and the recipient will never know that it's missing that die cut out of the middle. So once again, added some Gina K adhesive dot runner, lining that up, and that's the card. Like I said, this one's my favorite. I think it's really fun. It'll be hard for me to send that one out. Maybe I'll give it to my mom. Card number 6 uses the Stamp Market dotted rainbow and a sentiment from All to New from the Crafty Life stamp set. I thought that this was really appropriate. It's talking about how my world is more colorful with you in it, and obviously the rainbow is full of colors. So I thought that this one was really fun. Needed to stamp that one multiple times. That colorful is a really thick sentiment, and I never used that stamp before. Here is more paper from that Stamp Market paper pack that is their rainbow, and just adhering that panel down and then adding this to the card base, and that's the finished card. Card number 7 uses that dotted hello again from the Stamp Market. I again used a ombre thread that was pinks and oranges. This stamp also comes from that same set from the Stamp Market. Again, that's linked down below. Just making sure that's going to line up properly before I stamp down, and adding that on. That sentiment's so cute because you can check off, and it makes it a little bit more interactive. Adding that with, of course, foam tape to a Lawn Fawn gingham paper. I think this one's really cute and summery, although summer is basically behind us. Although I live in North Texas, it's still summer. It's still hot. Adding that on to my card base, just going ahead and lining that up, and that card is complete. I have one bonus card for you with a full stitched panel. These take me a long time to do, so I don't get them done as often as I really want to or should. So it's a little stitch background, and I'm adding this Stamp Market thank you. I think it's called Handwritten Thank You die set. The shadow layer is in vellum, and adding that with Connect glue onto the front of this panel. I do want to tell you, so anytime I add a die cut on to my stitching, I will add something heavy on top, leave it for a little while, and make sure it gets really stuck down. Also, I love that you saw my sunburned arm. That's the true sign of summer for those of us that are highly pale. Popping that up onto some Gina K in the navy cardstock, and then adding that to a card base. And that completes all of the cards for today. Here's a little overview. The hello cards, the rainbow cards, and some of those with the Concord and 9th So Pretty. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments down below, do you like to stitch? This is something that I do. I sit in front of the TV or I'm sitting on a plane and I just need something to do to keep myself busy. I'll sit and stitch. So I've got a lot of these panels and just had a day where I turned a bunch of them into cards. So let me know if you like to stitch on cards, and I hope to see you in my next video. There is a link to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. Subscribe to see more videos. Like this video if you liked this content, and click to watch my next video. Thanks so much.